Welcome to yet another episode of our current affairs program, the 28th day of February, the year 2013. I'm your host, Kasuja Onyonyi. In August last year, when the courts ruled that the general election will be held on March 2013, there was a lot of hue and cry that March 2013 was too far. Days have turned into hours, hours into minutes, minutes into seconds, and it's only 4 days to casting your vote. Vote wisely, but maintain the peace. This evening in our program, The Platform, will be focusing on voter education. This is part of the Kenya National Integrated Civic Education Program, in which we'll be discussing issues related to what the voters should expect on this particular day, what they expected of them, and how to conduct themselves during this period. With us in the studio to discuss this is Beatrice Odera. Welcome, Beatrice. Beatrice Odera is the Acting National Executive Secretary at the Kenya Episcopal Conference at the Catholic Justice and Peace Commission. She is also a member of the steering committee or member of the KNICE, otherwise known as Kenya National Integrated Civic Education Program. Together with Beatrice is Dr. Hasmukh Rawal. Welcome, Daktari.
Thank you. Good evening to you.
Dr. Rawal is an educationist, a social worker, and a philanthropist. Probably to start with you, Daktari. As I earlier stated, it is only 4 days to Kenya going to an election that has never been seen in this country. It is an inaugural election in which several positions will be voted for. What should Kenyans expect on Monday?
Well, on Monday, as far as the administration and all the procedures for the election, which has been done by IEBC and all the other administrations, they are so watertight, and they have done so well that according to me, this time this is going to be a landmark election, and I'm sure that the world is watching us, and we are definitely going to set the history. Mm-hmm. And on Monday, as far as the civic education, the organization and the Ministry of Justice are concerned, I've been given a mandate to explain to Wananchi in a very, very simplified way that what they are expecting on Monday. Yes. And early morning at 6 o'clock, from 6 to 5 is the time when all the booths will be opened, and thereafter all the voters will definitely march, and they are going to vote for it.
How early would the voting station be
open? At 6 o'clock in the morning.
In the morning.
And there is last time people, they always feel that, oh no, they are going to be late and all these things. But I had a long chat with IEBC and all the other organizations, and they say that we would like that all our officers going to sleep on Sunday in the polling booth, so that they will definitely is going to be in time. At 6 o'clock, the polling booth is going to open. The first thing, there will be all the officers from IEBC. There will be 7 clerk and the presiding officer and the deputy officers. They will be there. And the first thing they are going to do, that they will be in the presence of all these agents, of the candidates' agents and all the other observers. They are going to first of all show that all these boxes are empty. They are going to show it to the public and to all those people who are agents and the observers, that look, these are empty boxes. They are going to seal it, and at the same time the agent of the candidates, they are also going to seal those ballot boxes. So in other words, that this is everything is perfectly well sealed, so that there is no question of hampering or anybody asking questions that it was not sealed and the ballot paper were already there. And thereafter, what is going to happen there? Who are the people who will be there? So ICBC, they have selected 7 officers who will be there, deployed there, and then there will be a presiding officer and the deputy officer, and at the same time there will be all the party agents, the candidates' agents will be present there, and we are also going to have, as far as observation is concerned, the European community, all these delegations, and so many people are
election observers in general.
They are already here. The OAU, Organization of African Unity, their observations are going to be here. And I was told also that even the ex-president of the Zambia,
he's the head of the chair of the African Union
and
Observer
plus
Group.
this Carter Center And we have also Mr. John Simula. He has also led the delegation of 60 foreigners who will be all here. There'll be so many other international observers also with all the different stakeholders. There might be some people from the peace mission. There will be some other people who will be looking after all the other interests as far as their interest is concerned.
Yeah, probably BPs would come in here and tell us exactly, because when we talk of the polling station being opened at 6 o'clock, then we need to exactly know, because Kenyans are described as very peculiar people, that we are last-minute people. We know it opened at 6 o'clock, but we come at 4, all of us, and we all want to vote. Would anybody be disinherited of this fundamental right that you can't vote, you came late?
Yes, it's going to be possible, Mr. Kasuja. And I want to put it across to the Kenyans that the opening will be at 6 o'clock and the closing will be at 5 o'clock. If you're not in the queue by 5 o'clock, you won't cast your vote on that day. So it is important to know that for 11 hours that are provided for, please be at the queue at the right time. Avoid rushing there at the last minute so that you are not denied your right to vote. It is also important for people to know that on that particular day, you go to the station where you actually took your register, where you register as a voter.
Yes.
Because if you go to another voting place, then your name will not be there, or it may be very difficult for you to vote. That is what we are being told by the IBC. For me to vote, I have to go to where I took the voters register.
When you say I have to be in the queue before the 11 hours that are provided for by IBC,
yes,
who will be ensuring that I'm there before 4 o'clock?
It is,
or before 5 o'clock?
It is my own responsibility. It is your own responsibility that I want to vote. I want to exercise my right as a Kenyan. I want to be responsible as a Kenyan, and I want to cast my vote. So I have to be within the time that has been provided for by IBC or by the law.
Yes, Mr. Rawal.
Well, I think let me take the step by step that once you stand in the queue, and then you will be asked to see the clerk concerned who is holding the register of the voter.
Yeah.
The first thing he is going to do is to check your left hand, little small finger, that whether it has been marked or not. It may happen that perhaps you might have given vote from some other station, and then you are going. So they are going to identify and check whether you have not voted previously. And as Joyce has already said, that you have to go to the police station where you have registered, and you have to carry your documents with you. Either you can have ID card or a passport or whatever you have registered previously. That document is very necessary. You have to carry that with you, and thereafter the clerk is going to satisfy, and you will be asked to put your thumb on the EVID, that is called Electronics Voter Identifications device. So when you put that your thumb in that device, your whole detail, your photographs, your name, and everything will be there, your ID number and so on. So the clerk is satisfied that, look, you are the right person, and whatever name you carry, then the ID card you are carrying, and thereafter he is going to just go through the register. He is going to strike out your name from the register, and he is going to give your name very loudly. He will speak loudly, Mr. So-and-so, so that if any other person who is standing there, he may not have the same name, or you are not voting on behalf of that thing. There's a procedural thing which I would like to take you through very quickly. And thereafter, once that is clear, then you will be asked to move to another place where it is a ballot allocation place, once you have been clear. And in this ballot allocation, there will be 3 clerks who are going to distribute the ballot, 6 ballot papers. The first clerk, he will be having 2 ballot papers, and that ballot paper will be for the county assembly, and the representative of the governor will be there. And the second clerk will hand over another 2 ballot papers to you. One will be for the MPs and also for the women representative thing. And the third clerk will hand over to you 2 more ballot papers. And
the president and the governor.
The president and the governor.
Yeah.
And again, you see, they have been organized in such a very professional way that all the ballot papers are colored, different colors. Such as white and blue and yellow and green and purple and beige. The president ballot paper will be white color, and there'll be all the boxes
In the same, the seal, the leads will be those colors.
Yes, and the lead will be of that color,
Yeah.
the white color. It means I know that I have to put my vote in that white ballot paper. There will be written name, President. So in other words, that somebody may not know how to read.
That's
but
the
the color
question.
you can identify,
Yes.
and you don't have to remember also that white belongs to what. But if you have got ballot paper white, and then you already taken what. So only from the color you can go there in the box where there is a white lead, you can put your vote there. And you have to exercise very caution while marking your vote, because each ballot paper will only one vote. Now that vote, if you would like to give, you can do it in three ways. One, you tick it; another, you put a cross; and the other, you put a dot. So any one thing you can choose. But in one ballot paper, there should be only one sign or one mark only. Not that you just keep on ticking a cross, and tick right.
At that point, Dr. Rawal, I just want to explain something. Probably Beatrice can also chip in. I do understand that if you do make an X within the box and there is a spill of that X outside, that constitutes a spoiled vote.
Exactly, yeah.
And
yes,
that might
And
be,
if you put the tick and the tick is above the box, it's also a spoiled
it
vote.
was a spoiled vote.
If you put the wrong vote in the wrong box, that's a
That's
spoiled
a spoiled
vote.
vote, yes.
Now, how would Kenyans actually know? Particularly, I'm interested in those who do not have the ability to write or read or are visually impaired.
because there is a possibility that supposing due to whatever reason, if I want to tick and I have crossed that line,
Yes.
because I might be old people, 70, 80 years of age, and my hand stumbling. So you can also request for another ballot paper also, that in case that you can ask for that, and that particular ballot paper will be cancelled, and that will not be used, but they will be retained by the officers, and then you will be given again, and you can mark accordingly. But if you cross the line, it means your vote will not be counted. So you have to be extra careful. Even in the second trial, you don't have to make mistake. And then when you say that you put in the wrong thing, I think everything has been so neat and clean and so nicely prepared.
Yeah.
The color, that is the white color and
Yeah.
white thing. I don't think anybody can make that much mistake.
But
in doing
Beatrice,
that.
of course, we assume that me and everybody else probably we are aided by the glasses and what we can see. What of somebody who is visually impaired? Blue color or yellow is still the same. It doesn't mean anything to them. How would they be?
There are going to be some people who are going to assist those who are not able to know what is happening. That is provided for in the law, and they'll be there at the polling stations. So for you to make sure that your vote is not spoiled, please ask for guidance, ask for help. I want to take you a little bit back in terms of the documents that you used when you are registering. If you did use a voter's card as a register, as your document during registration, that is what you should carry with you during the election day.
If you use the ID card.
If you use the ID card
Yes.
at the registration time.
Yes.
If you use the passport passport for registration, also that is what you carry on that particular day, because that is what is in your details in terms of the document that you're supposed to present to the voting clerk on that particular day.
Yeah. Dr. Rawal also mentioned the prevalence of the so-called election observers at the polling stations.
Yes.
A number would be asking of what importance are these people, because here is IBC telling us the vote and go, and some people are still milling around here, they're not going. Of what importance are voter observers?
It is very, very important for the observers to be present at the polling station. Dr. Rawal has mentioned about voters, international observers, but I also want to tell you that we also have got a number of domestic observers that are going to be in the polling station on that day. ELOG is our domestic observer on that day, and it has actually taken people across the country. They are all in the counties, they are all in the constituencies, and CJPC is part of the ELOG election observer group. So they are going to be a mixture of both international and domestic observers. They are important because they are the ones who are going to see whether there's anything going wrong, and they are able to report to the relevant authorities so that at least measures can be taken. We are coming from a past experience that was not very good, and we are just trying to make things right once more for our country, which is very, very important for us to have credible elections. It's very, very important to at least make people once more believe in the process and believe in the results that they are going to wait for after elections.
Because all the observer and the agent and everything, they will hang around there. The only thing, the voters, once you have completed your voting, you are asked to leave the polling station and go home, and then you can carry on with whatever activities you want to do that. But as far as the observers, and they are all officials, and plus international and local, everybody is definitely going to hang around. As Beatrice has already mentioned, that they are going to write the report of any follies, whatever they feel, although they cannot take any action at that particular time.
Yes.
But they are going to write a report after complete election, that what are the other problems which they have come, or particular thing, if they find that something is wrong, there'll be media also, there'll be photographers, everybody will be around. So there's nothing that anybody can sneak in and do something illegal thing, which is not possible, because you see, you cannot escape the eye of all those people around. And once the observer has made the report, they are going to submit to IEBC. Now, IEBC is now going to analyze while they are either announcing the result, or maybe that if somebody is not satisfied with the result, and if he has to go to the judiciary, at that particular time, this report can be useful to them.
To make a judgment to the court.
make a judgment to help us there.
Yes, Beatrice.
Yes.
I also have seen a barrage of advertisements from Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission educating Kenyans on what to do. They are also prescribing dress code.
Yeah.
What would happen to somebody who has, over this electioneering period, amassed a good number of T-shirts and caps and wants to have that as a Monday best to the voting station, because that's the best I have?
Not really. I want to tell my fellow Kenyans that on that day, please try to just get one of your clothes that you had before the election campaign started. Let us all keep our T-shirts at home. We still have a long way to go. They can still help us later in future. But on that particular day, try to put on a color that is not synonymous with any political party, because it's going to be very important for you also to keep your secret, because it is about your secret. Voting is your secret. Whoever I'm going to vote for should not be known by any other person. But the moment I put on a color that is somehow connected to a particular party, I'll be telling people that this is my party and this is the person I'm voting for. I don't think that any Kenyan would want to do that. Also, we are trying to talk about peace. Try to maintain peace, because even by coming with another color that is going to identify you also may bring problems on the queue. So let us try to bring this peace by keeping away anything that can bring violence, so that at least you remain a normal person, a general person. Don't identify yourself. Just be a Kenyan on that day, and let us not know what exactly you're going to do.
And in addition to that, in addition to that, this color, whatever T-shirt that you're talking, now you see, according to the law, IBC rules and regulations, everybody is by, you may be anybody. And it means that according to law, you are not allowed to do any campaigning whatsoever may be on that particular day. So wearing the T-shirt of green and orange and all these things, it means that you are campaigning. And maybe that perhaps if you do like that, you are offending, or you are going to disband your party as well, because this is not allowed and it's illegal, and you are not expected to do that. You see, this morning I was giving a talk on the East FM radio, and somebody asked the question that can somebody give the food to somebody who is standing in the line?
Who is hungry?
No, that is wrong. That is wrong.
So I also say that, look,